it's hot today. We are at the end of April and the weather in Chongqing is phenomenal today. I've been in a car for a couple of hours driving to a place in Chongqing called Zhongshan. And Zhongshan is a county inside of sort of the greater Chongqing municipality area. The reason why I'm here is to explore a little bit about how the highway that was built in, I think it was 2007, has sort of helped these areas develop a little bit more. So everyone is sort of very familiar with the downtown area of Chongqing, districts and counties in there. I'm already sweating completely in my face. It's so hot. It's about 30 degrees today. So the reason why I'm here is to explore how the highway has sort of helped establish these counties and districts, sort of help with the development of the areas, and the things that are sort of happening as a result of that. I'm standing up atop of this viewing platform in the middle of this smaller town that we're in, that is a part of Zhongshan, but is like a smaller town in and of itself. One of the things they do here is that they grow oranges that they make into, of course they sell the oranges themselves. They sell the oranges themselves, but they also make like orange juice and other products made from these citrus fruits. Of course, they have a lot of farms that have seen a boost in their production and the wages of the workers. And then this place is also slowly developing into, I guess you could call it agritainment, which is when you take farms and these sort of countryside areas, help develop them into a tourist attraction where people from the downtown areas can come and explore what the countryside looks like, stay for a night or two, maybe even go to the farms. Just like when we went to the tea mountain in Banan, you can go and help pick your own tea leaves, stuff like that. So let me just show you what we're looking at here. So one of the things that have made this all possible is that highway that you can see just down there, just above my blurry finger. That highway is part of the highway system that connects to the downtown area in Chongqing. It's actually a little bit far away from where I'm standing. That highway goes down here, runs across here as well, and goes down to the toll station, which is down that way where you get off the highway and then into this area here. And this whole area is just covered in trees and houses, farms, and as you can see, all these trees along the side here are used for like citrus growing and various different things. So this whole thing is part of this government initiative to sort of lift this area that used to be poorer, at least, maybe not that poor, but certainly poorer than the downtown area. And so the highway sort of helps makes it easier for people to travel to and from this area, obviously. It used to take 9 hours to go to where we are now from the downtown area. Now you can do it in about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Better infrastructure brings people more easily. It means that you can invest more in the farming and the production. They also help sort of build these things up to become small tourist attractions, so you can invite tourists to come and visit as well. Poverty alleviation, of course, has been a big focus of China recently, especially here in Chongqing, where a lot of work from the government has gone into helping all the people in all the counties and districts of Chongqing to sort of get out of what is called absolute poverty. So these people haven't necessarily gotten rich or anything, but they've been given help by the government to help develop their businesses. They've been granted small loans. Infrastructure has been developed around where they are, which in turn has helped them sort of establish their business and improve on what they already have. So now they can make more money, not just as a one-time thing, but as a more sort of sustainable fashion, so that you're not just giving them a bag of money and saying, here, take this, you're good to go. It's the whole sort of give a man a fish he can eat for a day, teach him how to fish and he'll have food for a lifetime, that sort of thing. Giving them the tools they need to build up a business or improve the business they already have, to be able to sustain themselves in the future and lift themselves out of poverty by giving them opportunities to start businesses and helping the businesses that are already here to expand and thrive a little bit more. I was able to find a place out of the sun, a little bit in the shade, where you can actually come down and walk in this covered walkway that is still in between many of these trees where they grow their different kinds of products. Now many of these trees I'm looking at now, they don't really have fruits on them. I guess they might have been harvested already. But you can sort of see how they've made this road. It's in just an effort to make it easier for people to also just traverse the hills so they don't have to walk on the roads along with the cars. So many of the trees now, they have these flowers growing on them. We were actually on a different hill a little bit away from here earlier where we could see some trees that had both the flowers and also oranges hanging on them. But right now, it's just all these lovely little flowers. So earlier we were up on a different hill, and that hill had trees that right by the road that I could easily get to that had both these flowers and oranges growing on them. These ones, they seem like the oranges have been plucked already. So this one is just the tree and the flowers itself. So this whole thing is just a walkway that's been constructed. Partially it's a place where you can walk out of the sun because the sun in Chongqing does get extremely hot. But these walkways are also constructed as a way of letting people traverse the countryside easier. It's a way to get them off the road so they don't walk along the cars, and just some shortcuts that make it easier for people to sort of get around. The place where we started at is actually right up there, this hill, way up here. That's where we started, that's where we were looking out from everything. So where we started the vlog earlier is actually that hill up there. There is a little observation deck that they've built. That's where I started out just a couple of minutes ago before we came down here. So this place in English, I guess you could call it the Three Gorges Citrus City. And actually the whole place that I've just been touring around, there is a miniature model of it right here. This place is actually really, really, really big. So inside of this museum, you can learn just about anything there is to learn about these different kinds of citruses that they have, especially here. We are in a museum, so it is a little bit dark. Let me pump this up a little bit so you can still see what I'm doing. This museum, there aren't a lot of people here today, which is actually just fortunate for me because it gives me the chance to sort of just walk around on my own and explore. I won't be able to do this whole museum in detail because it's quite big and I don't have that much time. What I can show you though is this set of statues here in the back, which show how they used to transport these citrus fruits. Not just oranges, it's oranges, lemons, pomelos, all these citrus fruits that they grew here, always transported by hand to like places where they could distribute them from. They actually have a wall here of photos that show exactly what this used to look like. A lot of work doing these things, especially in the old days. There's another big painting here. It looks like a more recent painting, but it's still sort of showing what would have happened in old times. And they have several different books about sort of the culture of the place, histories of how the citrus production would have impacted their life and their culture here. Many, many, many beautiful paintings. These are some actual old books. Some of these must be, I don't know how old these books would be. Old, very old. This one says citrus in the pre-Qin period. Qin was the first dynastic rule of the unified China. So pre-Qin is like a long time ago. Now there's a tree out here that I want to show you. I know this is probably going to get way overblown. Just turn this down as much as I can. There's a tree out here. Thankfully it's in the shade. My shiny head. So there's a tree out here behind me here that has not one, not two, I believe it's all 3 or 4 kinds of citrus fruits growing on it all at once. So this is all one tree, and here you have like a regular sized, I'm not even sure what this is. She did tell me, the girl who's been showing me around, I forgot. But then you also have these small ones here, which is a different kind of citrus fruit. And there is a third kind that's going to come up from here that hasn't sprouted yet. And this is just from a single tree. There's one kind down here as well that also hasn't quite sprouted yet. That's going to come out later. But this is just one tree that has 4 kinds of fruit growing on it. Here are the different varieties of citrus fruit. We've got the pomelo, lime, mandarins, sweet orange, lemon, and this one is called the citron. I think maybe I'm not much of a dude when it comes to fruits and vegetables. I'm a meat kind of guy. But they also have all the different kinds of insects and sort of diseases and pests that can influence these trees. All of these are real. So they have these. All these animals. Some of the bigger ones. That looks scary. But what they also have in here are samples of all the different kinds of citrus fruits. Just one upon the other. And as a child, I was like, yeah, you've got orange, and then you have lemon, and that's it. There's much more to it than that. Just look at all this.
It is places like this, places like the Three Gorges citrus city here in Zhongshan and Chongqing, that perfectly illustrate how the highway infrastructure creates a foundation for which businesses and the livelihoods of the local farmers can improve. By the government investing in the businesses here, by helping to develop the area into a tourist attraction as well, disposable incomes for the farmers and the locals living here has increased by more than 8 times since the highway system's completion in 2007. The highway isn't just a road you take to go somewhere, it's like a lifeline that runs through the country, spurring developments all around it. And with that, I will leave you with some final clips from the Three Gorges citrus city, and I will see you next time.